The people I've been talking about tonight have some things in common. Phantom enemies, and the progressive idea that government can solve any and all problems. It's a trap our country fell into for many years with both the Republican and the Democrats. The idea that government is the answer. These people over here, they would all say the problem starts with who? The people. Therefore, the people must be limited and controlled. But Ronald Reagan and George Washington and all our founders would say it's the government, and the government must be controlled. They say you're the problem. They say the government is the problem. You have to decide which is right. Reagan reminded us of this.
Government is the problem. All of us need to be reminded that the federal government did not create the states. The states created the federal government.
Read Mein Kampf. It's the exact opposite. What he just said is the exact opposite of what Hitler said. Ronald Reagan was the first president in I don't know how long to say the people are the solution and mean it. The government should get the heck out of the way. He was the first president to say the real enemy of the people, the real enemy of freedom, is big government. No better example of big government destroying freedom than the Soviet Union. Reagan waged the Cold War, but not against the Soviet people, against the communist government. Reagan said nothing is less free than pure communism, and eventually they listened, and the Iron Curtain fell. The Soviet people gained freedom. Now, where did Reagan get the idea that big government was bad? He looked first to these people. He was a fan of this guy for a while, a progressive. He looked to the lies. And then he looked to these guys, the founders. He looked to the Constitution. He had warned for years about the intrusive power of big government. But so did this president. He warned about the big evil government and keeping the power with the people. George Washington, in his first inaugural address, said, quote, "The preservation of the sacred fire of liberty and the destiny of the Republican model of government are justly considered, perhaps as deeply, as finally, staked on the experiment entrusted to the hands of the American people." In 1789, he's saying that the preservation of liberty and this government is up to the people, not the other way around. Fast forward to the end of his 2 terms, where he walked away and said, I relinquish. He could have been king. His farewell address, George Washington said, quote, "It is important, likewise, that the habits of thinking in a free country should inspire caution in those entrusted with its administration to confine themselves within their respective constitutional spheres, avoiding in the exercise of powers of one department to encroach upon another. The spirit of encroachment tends to consolidate the powers of all the departments in one, and thus to create whatever the form of government, a real despotism. A just estimate of that love of power and proneness to abuse it, which predominates in the human heart, is sufficient to satisfy us with the truths of this position. Let me translate. Washington was saying, look out. Look out for the people who have power, because they're going to keep eating more power. They're going to combine everything, and it's going to grow too strong. And then they'll turn on you, and the next thing you know, you're going to have a king again. It's important to note that this was at the end of Washington's 2nd term, stepping down after 2 terms. He didn't want to become the despot he warned of. He embraced the idea of we the people. It's an idea that was lost for a long time, almost the last 100 years in this country. Rekindled a little bit under Ronald Reagan. But for a time, I'm afraid now is being forgotten. So let me leave you with this. Something that Reagan said in his farewell address.
We have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
Remember, as government expands, liberty contracts. know, I'm going a different way than I think most shows are going right now, because everybody's headed towards the election, and I'm just not going to play politics. I mean, I'm going to tell you on both sides what's going on, but I think the solution has got to come from you first in all things. It's going to come from we the people, and going to come from you. We cannot even decide who to vote for unless we've done one thing: restore honor and integrity. On 8/28, August 28th, on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, a historic event, hopefully, is going to be happening. I want to talk to you on August 28th of this summer about restoring honor. It's going to be quite an amazing event. Maybe the last event that the government allows on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, as they are now trying to close down all of these, any kind of event like this there by the reflecting pool. Be there with your family. If you'd like to volunteer your time or find out more information, go to glennbeck.com and click on Restoring Honor. Find out all the details. We could use your help. Back in just a second. We're just a bunch of dummies here trying to figure out, you know, how to turn the light switches on and figure out what we're going to do on Saturday night. I think it's going to be movie night. Let's see. Which movie should you go see this Saturday?
The Bold and Fresh Tour.
I don't have anything against Barack Obama. I don't think he's the devil.
Hang on a second. Are you getting sick too?
Yeah, whoever cheered the bag, would you like it? You have a giant bunker, and you get paid in gold. Tonight he gets paid in gold. I mean, there's a big truck out there. I don't see it as Armageddon yet.
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
I watched the O'Reilly Factor. He frightens me.
Get ready, y'all.
Why do you think there is a level of hatred against you and against me that there is?
I have to tell you, I found out this weekend, that was from Saturday, and there's stuff that I've told him not to put on the air because I don't want you, I mean, I'm hoping Bill does it again. He's a riot. I had absolutely, because really I mean that. He frightens me. He's hysterical. You have to see him on stage where you'll find it entertaining. It's sold out, but you can watch it live in theaters live Saturday. Find out all the information at glennbeck.com. From New York, good night, America.